I want us to break up. Jungkook immediately widened his eyes in disbelief upon hearing what his girlfriend said. He even shook his head while trying to remain calm after hearing the word breakup from her mouth. What? What do you mean, Yin? This isn't an April Fool's joke, right? Don't joke like this. I don't like it. Meanwhile, Yin remained silent with a blank expression until she began to speak up again. Who's joking here? I'm serious about this. I want us to break up now. Jungkook clenched his fist tightly to hold back his emotions. Yin, are you really serious about saying this? Jungkook looked at her, asking for an explanation from the girl in front of him. He truly had no clue at all why she decided to break up so suddenly like this. Sorry, I found another man who is more suitable for me. A very wealthy man who can fulfill all my needs. He's wealthier than you, and I want him. Jungkook became even more incredulous at what he heard from her. I'll consider what you're saying right now as just nonsense. I'll pretend I never heard this statement from you. Yin let out a heavy sigh while folding her arms across her chest. Whatever you want to say. I've told you my intentions when meeting you today, that I want our relationship to end here. I don't love you anymore. Goodbye. As Yin was about to leave him, he quickly grabbed her hand tightly. Yin, are you kidding me? Does this mean you've been cheating on me all this time? Yin immediately shrugged off his hand. I'm not joking right now. Everything I said to you was serious. If I've found another man wealthier than you, don't you think my decision makes sense? He approached me, and of course, I was tempted by him. Please don't look for me anymore because I don't want my relationship with my new boyfriend to be ruined because of your presence. I'm warning you from now on. After saying that, Yin left, leaving Jungkook staring blankly at her departure. Jungkook looked at his hand that had just held his girlfriend's hand for the last time. His gaze turned sharp as he clenched his fist tightly. What am I lacking, huh? I could also make you happy all this time. You'll regret your decision, Yin. I despise women like you the most. After the breakup statement from his girlfriend, Jungkook never met Yin again. It could be because of their different majors, with Jungkook majoring in business management and Yin majoring in architectural engineering. It had been quite a while since they last met after that incident. Strangely, Jungkook never crossed paths with Yin again, neither on campus nor outside. Usually, Jungkook would come to the architectural engineering department to meet his beautiful girlfriend, but now there was no reason for him to come there anymore because their relationship had ended. Jungkook himself was the type who would never accept betrayal. For him, such a mistake could never be forgiven, no matter what. This time, he truly hated Yin. Therefore, Jungkook tried to forget about Yin and chose to focus more on his studies. 5 years later, a plane has just landed at Incheon Airport, South Korea. Shortly after, Park Yin stepped out of the plane wearing her sunglasses. Her phone rang, displaying her mother's name. Yes, Mom? Sweetheart, where are you? I just got off the plane. I'm about to find a taxi. Oh, alright. Be careful on the road, okay? Yes, Mom. After ending the call, she immediately hailed a taxi to head home. During the journey, she glanced out of the car window, observing the city of Seoul, which seemed to have changed slightly since she left 4 years ago. Suddenly, she found herself thinking about Jungkook, her only ex-boyfriend. They dated for a year, but there were still many sweet memories between them. I wonder how he's doing now. Surely, he's changed a lot, but I shouldn't think about him anymore. I'm sure he has someone else by his side now. Finally, after about an hour, Yin arrived at her home and it was already getting late in the afternoon. As she entered the house, she was warmly greeted with a hug from her mother. Mom, Dad, I'm home. Her mother immediately embraced her tightly. Finally, you're home. Dad and I have missed you so much. We thought you'd be happier staying there than here. Yin chuckled softly, her smile widening. No, I prefer the atmosphere here. Come on, darling. Let's let Yin rest in her room. Yes, that's right. All right, dear. You go rest first. You can come down later for dinner. Yin nodded slowly as she walked towards her room. Upon reaching her room, she immediately laid her tired body down, feeling the exhaustion from the long journey from New York to Seoul. Soon enough, she closed her eyes as drowsiness overtook her. 3 hours later. Sweetie, wake up. You need to take a shower and join us for dinner. Yin yawned softly and nodded sleepily. She slowly made her way to the bathroom to freshen up. After finishing, she emerged from the bathroom to find her mother standing in front of her wardrobe. What's up, Mom? Yin's mother. Oh, dear, Dad, and I forgot to tell you that your father's friend will be joining us for dinner tonight. So I'm picking out a nice outfit for you. Dad's friend? Which one? You'll find out soon. Anyway, wear this dress. Yin's mother handed her a baby pink dress. Yin accepted it and quickly put it on. I'll be heading out first. Once you're ready, just come downstairs. Okay, Mom. After putting on the dress, Yin applied a light layer of makeup, making her face look fresher despite still appearing tired. Truth be told, she hadn't been sleeping well the past few days. For some reason, her heart raced whenever she thought about returning to Korea. Finally, she stepped out of her room and headed towards the dining area. She could faintly hear conversation coming from the direction of the dining room. Maybe Dad's friend has arrived? Yin didn't dwell on it too much and continued walking towards the dining room until her mother noticed her arrival. There she is. Her name is Park Yin. Everyone turned to look at her, including a man who was previously seated with his back towards her, now turning to face her. At that moment, the world seemed to stand still. Both Yin and the man widened their eyes at each other. Jungkook, Yin? They stared at each other for a while, causing both sets of parents to realize something was up. Jungkook, why are you staring at her like that? Interested in Yin? Jungkook immediately averted his gaze, his face stiffening, his jaw clenched. No, nothing special. Damn, I didn't expect the girl Dad mentioned to be her. I didn't know this was her parents' house, since I thought she lived alone in an apartment near our campus. Yin remained silent, a bitter smile forming on her lips. She was sure Jungkook must truly hate her now, and they were both here with their parents. Now they were both preoccupied with their own thoughts. Come on, Yin, sit here. Yin slowly walked towards the dining table and sat next to her mother, directly across from her former lover, who was now glaring at her with cold eyes. Well, you two haven't met yet. How about introducing yourselves before we proceed to the next stage? Yin raised her eyebrows in confusion. Next stage? What do you mean? Yin's mother caught the puzzled expression on her daughter's face, making her smile faintly. Sweetheart, sorry. We're only telling you now. Actually, we want to arrange a marriage between you and the son of Mr. Jeon, named Jeon Jungkook. We believe he's the most suitable match for you. Besides, you're the same age, so you should get along quickly. Yin's eyes widened upon hearing her mother's statement. She never expected to be arranged to marry her ex-boyfriend. This was an absolutely crazy coincidence. But what puzzled her was why Jungkook seemed unfazed by this news. Did he already know about this arranged marriage? Shouldn't he reject it because he hates her? Mom, why is this happening all of a sudden? I just got back. Yin, sorry for not telling you earlier. Actually, Mr. Jeon has some business matters abroad tomorrow, probably for about a month. So tonight is the perfect time for us to gather before you delay too long. That's right. I don't want to postpone discussing our children any longer, Mr. Park. And don't worry, Jungkook is a good guy. I've known him, Yin. Yin knew Jungkook was very caring, but that was then. She wasn't sure now after what happened between them. Their parents didn't know about their past relationship because neither of them had ever talked about their partners to their parents. Yin, we really hope you'll consider this. We truly believe Jungkook will be happy with her. Yin sighed heavily, feeling confused. Deep down, she still loved Jungkook very much, but seeing the man in front of her now made it seem like he truly despised her. It seemed like Yin had to straighten out what had happened. She had to be honest with Jungkook. Can we talk for a moment? Jungkook, hearing Yin's request, finally looked at her sharply. Of course, it seems like you two should discuss this beforehand. Finally, here they were, sitting together after almost 5 years of not seeing each other. Jungkook, I'm sorry for what happened back then. Don't expect anything from me. I'll try to cancel this arranged marriage. I'll talk to my parents again. Besides, actually, I already have a girlfriend now. For some reason, hearing his confession felt like a stab to her heart. Of course, Jungkook already had a girlfriend. Alright then. Well, there was no point in Yin explaining further. Besides, what did Yin expect? To get forgiveness from him. And then what? Jungkook already had a girlfriend, meaning there was another woman in his heart. So there was no need to talk about anything else, especially since Jungkook seemed uninterested in hearing anything from her. I just don't want to marry that girl. You made a promise. This is the last time, and you won't refuse. But in reality, you're refusing again? What's your reason for refusing Yin, Jungkook? She's not a good person, Mom. Why do you say she's not good? Are you sure about that? And what reason do we have to refuse this arranged marriage to Mr. Park's family? You know Mr. Park very well. He's a very kind man. Are you sure his daughter isn't good? For some reason, hearing what his mother said made Jungkook start to doubt revealing Yin's true nature. He wanted to explain that Yin was his ex-girlfriend and that she left him for a wealthier man. But the truth was, he hadn't seen who that man was. And strangely enough, they hadn't met again since then, and Jungkook, who was hurt, had never wanted to find out about Yin's whereabouts. There's no more reason for you to refuse. You made a promise, Jungkook. This time, You can't refuse anymore. I've given you chances before because you were too picky, but now you have to obey me. Inevitably, they couldn't avoid the wedding. Communication between Jungkook and Yin was non-existent. They didn't even discuss anything related to their wedding preparations. Although Yin tried to initiate conversations, Jungkook seemed completely indifferent. And so, the wedding day arrived. Jungkook and Yin got married with changed hearts, both of them wearing fake smiles throughout the wedding ceremony. That night, nothing happened between them. They slept in the hotel room with their backs to each other. The next morning, they had arrived at Jungkook's apartment. Yin watched Jungkook walk ahead of her. "Jungkook, where's the bedroom?" Jungkook stopped in his tracks. His gaze was completely flat, making Yin feel like she didn't know the man in front of her anymore. "Over there." Yin widened her eyes. Was she really going to share a room with her ex-boyfriend? She never expected Jungkook to agree to room with her. Yin followed him into the bedroom. "Just remember one thing. We got married because we were arranged to, so I have no obligation to act like a husband to you, because I despise women like you." Jungkook said it with his piercing gaze. Yin felt a pang of pain in her chest. She had anticipated that Jungkook would hate her after what happened. "It's okay, Yin. This is what you deserve. I've made breakfast for us. Don't you want to have breakfast before heading to the office?" "No, I'm used to having breakfast with my girlfriend. You can have your breakfast alone." Those words from Jungkook felt like a stab to her heart. And now, what was happening? Yin became the third wheel in Jungkook's relationship with his girlfriend. It hurts so much. Is this how he felt back then? Jungkook had just returned from the office, but Yin didn't greet him. However, when their eyes met, have you had dinner? If not, let me prepare it now. You don't need to pretend to be a good wife. I already had dinner outside with my girlfriend. There it was again. Yin sighed softly, feeling like there were so many thorns in her heart. Day by day passed until 1 month had gone by since the incident where Yin married her ex-lover. There was nothing special in their marriage. That was because they simply remained silent, never exchanging greetings. Although deep down Yin really wanted to talk to Jungkook again, she was certain he wouldn't even look at her anymore due to his resentment from the past. Besides, he had another woman in his heart. Yin knew Jungkook had tried to sabotage their marriage, but their parents were adamant. For Yin, marrying Jungkook felt like a punishment she had to endure. For the past month, Jungkook had always been cold towards her. He never even touched her. Their rooms were the same, but Yin often slept alone, as her husband preferred to sleep in his workspace. Truly, Yin disliked this situation. However, she would never blame Jungkook for his current attitude towards her. It was understandable for him to behave this way after what happened. If she were in Jungkook's position, she would probably do the same. Like this morning, Yin, as usual, prepared breakfast for herself and her husband. Although Jungkook never touched the food she made, it didn't hurt to still make it because she also had to make breakfast for herself. "Jungkook, let's have breakfast together." Jungkook's gaze remained the same as he looked at her. It was a cold stare that could make anyone tense up. But Yin tried to ignore all those stares and still invited him to have breakfast together. "You just eat by yourself. Besides, I never asked you to make breakfast for me. I rarely have breakfast anyway." "How is that possible? You have acute gastritis. You must always have breakfast. You don't need to act anymore. Why don't you just take off that mask? After being dumped by that rich guy, now you're showing that you care about me?" His words truly pierced her heart. Yin tried to hold back her tears that were ready to come out at any moment. It wasn't until Jungkook left that Yin let out her tears uncontrollably. "I never thought he would change so drastically. Am I really cruel?" Late at night around 11 o'clock, Jungkook's car finally arrived home. He stepped out of his car and immediately made his way to his bedroom. As he entered the room, he could see his wife sleeping soundly. Unconsciously, he walked towards Yin, gazing at the woman who was peacefully asleep. A woman whom he once deeply loved, but now only harbored resentment towards in his heart. Jungkook then went to his bathroom to freshen up. After about 20 minutes, he emerged from the bathroom with a refreshed look on his face. However, as he stepped out, he no longer saw Yin. Where did she go? Wasn't she still sleeping just now? Jungkook didn't dwell on it too much and made his way to his dressing room. While busy searching for his clothes, he accidentally bumped into a pile of Yin's clothes. Quickly, he straightened out the fallen clothes, and in doing so, he found a piece of paper that had slipped among them. Jungkook picked it up and read its contents. At that moment, his eyes widened in shock. His legs and hands felt numb, his fingertips began to feel cold, and his heart raced rapidly. Jungkook tried to calm his labored breathing amidst the confusion. What does this mean? In the midst of his confusion, Yin had just re-entered the room. Upon seeing Yin, Jungkook immediately approached her. "Yin, Yin was quite surprised by the casual address. It was the first time she had heard Jungkook call her name again after so long. What's wrong? Jungkook showed her the paper in his hand. At that moment, Yin was taken aback. Is this yours? Yes, it's mine. Give it to me. As Yin reached for the paper from Jungkook, his hand quickly lifted it so Yin couldn't take it. Do you have leukemia? Judging from the timing of this medical records issuance, it's been a week before we broke up. Yin, are you? Jungkook's words were cut off as Yin immediately grabbed the medical record from Jungkook's hand. Stop it. You don't need to talk about this anymore. I'm cured. The disease is no longer with me. As Yin was about to leave, Jungkook quickly grabbed her wrist. Wait, tell me honestly, was it because of this illness that you asked me to break up back then? You never actually had another man behind my back, did you? Did you deliberately do this so I wouldn't be sad when I found out all this? Tell me, Yin, is what I'm thinking correct? Yin just lowered her head. She didn't really want Jungkook to know about this. Jungkook stared at Yin with an intense need for an explanation. Seeing Yin remain silent, he immediately held her shoulder. Yin, don't just stay silent. Tell me now. Currently, Yin is at the airport with her parents. Yin, let's go. We need to board the plane soon. Yin nodded quietly. She looked back once more. It was her last day in South Korea. Today, she had to take a flight to New York for treatment. That's why she had to end her relationship with Jungkook. She was suffering from the deadly disease leukemia. Yin wasn't sure if she could recover. The doctor had said her chances of survival were only 30%. Therefore, she decided to end her relationship with Jungkook, so that he could hate her and no longer remember her. It would hurt more when Jungkook found out that she ended their relationship because she was sick. She just hoped Jungkook could find another woman who would love him. Although she felt reluctant, it was better this way. Sweetie, what are you thinking? Don't worry, after you recover, we'll come back here again. Yin's father stroked her head. He knew his daughter didn't want to leave her homeland. Yin just nodded quietly and finally followed her parents' steps to the boarding pass. Goodbye, Jungkook. I hope you'll always be happy even without me. Even though she had tried to stay strong, tears flowed from her eyes, not because she was leaving Korea, but because she would be leaving Jungkook. Congratulations, sir. Your daughter has fully recovered from this illness. I am very surprised by the speed of her recovery. It is quite rare. Congratulations again on your daughter's recovery. Yin's father and mother exchanged glances with tearful eyes upon hearing the doctor's explanation in front of them. Finally, after a year of treatment in New York, the doctor finally declared that their daughter had completely recovered from leukemia. Their efforts during this time turned out to be not in vain. Honestly, they were initially very pessimistic because at first, the doctor said the success rate of their daughter's treatment was only 30%. But now, a miracle has come to them. Thank you, doctor. You have helped our daughter a lot to recover. It's not just because of me, but your daughter's determination that made her recovery so fast. Well then, we'll take our leave, doctor. Please do. After leaving the doctor's office, Yin's father and mother headed to their daughter's hospital room. Upon entering, they could see Yin staring out the window with a vacant look. She had been like this since they took her for treatment in New York. Yin's mother approached her and hugged her shoulder. What are you thinking about, my dear? Yin then turned to look at her mother. Mom, Dad, when did you come back? Just now. Your father wants to tell you something. Yin then shifted her gaze to her father, who was approaching her. Sweetie, the doctor said that you are now 100% fully recovered from your leukemia. It means we can go back to Korea. Are you happy about that? Yin smiled widely and nodded. Finally, I will go back there. Will I meet him again when I go back? Will I see him already with another woman? My heart certainly does not agree with that thought, but I can't do anything about it. Dad, Mom, I don't want to go back to Korea. I want to continue my studies here. Alright, if that's what you want, we support you. Yes. That's true. Everything you said is true. I deliberately ended our relationship back then because I was suffering from leukemia at that time. The doctor said my chances of recovery were very slim, only 30%. The likelihood of me dying was greater than my chances of recovery, so I thought about ending our relationship. I didn't want you to be sad. I thought I wouldn't survive with this disease, but it turns out God had other plans, giving me another chance at life by healing me from this illness. Suddenly, Yin felt a tight and warm embrace. Jungkook hugged her tightly, causing her eyes to widen. Jungkook, you should have said this earlier. That way, I wouldn't have to hate you so much after what happened. Yin returned the hug tightly. Would their marriage relationship improve from now on? But suddenly Yin remembered something. Finally, she forcibly released herself from his embrace. Her relationship with Jungkook wouldn't improve. In Jungkook's heart, there was already another woman. Yin finally distanced herself, confusing him. What's wrong, Yin? Once again, Yin just shook her head. She was about to leave the bedroom, but Jungkook stopped her again. Yin, please tell me what's on your mind now. You said you've recovered, but why do you still keep your distance? Now, her hand was tightly held by him. What's with this guy? Did he forget that he already had another woman out there? It seems like we still can't go back to how we were before, right? Even though now you know the reason I did all that. What do you mean? Why can't we go back to how we were before? Yin was shocked. Was Jungkook really that slow in understanding their situation? Now? You already have another woman out there, so I think I should. Jungkook didn't wait for Yin to finish her sentence. He immediately hugged her tightly. Forgive me, actually, that was all a lie. What? What do you mean? I don't have another woman. Since we broke up, I stopped believing in love. And since then, I've never dated anyone. 2 months later. It's hard to believe that 2 months have passed since the incident when Jungkook found out about Yin's medical records. Since then, their relationship has improved significantly. Jungkook started to pay more attention to Yin. They began to have breakfast together more often, and Jungkook even made it a habit to come home for dinner with his wife. Currently, Jungkook always sleeps in their bedroom and hugs his wife tightly when they sleep. One morning, currently, Yin is in the kitchen preparing breakfast for them. Shortly after, a muscular arm wrapped around her from behind, startling her a bit. You scared me, honey. Of course, it was her husband who was hugging her. Yin lightly tapped her husband's arm. Are you busy today? Despite working from home, you seem busier than me. Is your project finished? Almost done. This time I'm not preparing sketches for an apartment building, but for a hotel. It takes longer to work on. I'm sorry if I've been busy lately. Since I'm a good and understanding husband, I can be patient with you. Yin chuckled at her husband's words. What are you cooking? Didn't you say you wanted to have chicken soup for breakfast today? Jungkook nodded slightly. He rested his chin on his wife's shoulder and stayed there, watching her, focused on cooking. Why? Do you need something? No, I just suddenly thought about the past. Truly, my heart feels relieved knowing that I'm the only man in your heart. How could I ever look for another man when you're already perfect in my eyes? But it turns out you were the one looking for another woman. Hey, I already told you that was all fiction, just lies. Where's my girlfriend? Where's that person? Nowhere at all. Okay, I believe you. Jungkook felt his heart warming hearing that. He turned Yin's body around. Shortly after, a gentle kiss landed on Yin's lips. Yin wrapped her arms around Jungkook's neck, enjoying the kiss. Jungkook's hand moved to turn off the stove, and he hugged his wife's waist. The kiss ended, and they looked into each other's eyes with love. I love you, baby. I love you too, honey. Finish your project quickly. I don't want you to be busy ignoring me at home for too long. Okay, once it's all done, what's the plan? What are we going to do? Honeymoon for sure. Jungkook kissed her lips softly again. Then he kissed her forehead and moved on to both of her cheeks. Take care, baby. Don't get sick again. Yin just nodded, hugging her husband tightly.